Hello everyone, welcome back from my channel. Today we are going to do the exercises from Cambridge Primary Mathematics Workbook 3. 1.2 Comparing and Ordering. Exercise 1.2. Number 1. Complete these pieces which come from a 1000 square. So, look at this number cross. It looks like a puzzle, but it's actually a magic trick for counting. So let's start right in the middle with the number 119. First, let's look at our neighbors on the left and right. When we move sideways, we are just changing the tens place by 10. So, if we take 10 away, we get 180. If we add 10 more, we get 200. Now, what happens if we go up and down? If we jump up, we subtract 100. So 190 minus 100 leaves us with just 90. If we jump down, we add 100. So 190 plus 100 will give 290. Let's try another one. This time, our starting number right in the middle is 230. So, if we hop to the left, we subtract 10. So 230 minus 10 gives us 220. If we hop to the right, we add 10. So 230 plus 10 will give 240. Now, going up and down changes our hundreds place by 100. So, if we jump up, we subtract 100. So 230 minus 100 will give 130. And if we jump down, we add 100. So 230 plus 100 will give to 230. Alright, here is our next puzzle. So starting number in the middle is 350. So first, let's look at left and right. So if we slide to the left, we subtract 10. So that will be 340. If we slide to the right, we add 10. So that will be 360. So now we jump up. When we jump up, we subtract 100. So that will be 250. And if we jump down, we add 100. So that will be 450. So now you know that if we move side to side, changes by 10. And if we move up and down, changes by 100. Question number 2. Compare these numbers and complete the sentences. So now we are going to compare two different numbers using a place value chart. So let's find out which number is bigger and why. First, let's look at our very first row to see what our first number is. We have 2 hundreds, 4 tens, and 9 ones. Put them together and that makes 249. Now, let's look at the second row. We have 100, 7 tens, and 3 ones. So, when we put those digits together, we get 173. So, to compare them, we always start by looking at the biggest value box first, the hundreds column. Look at that. The first number has 2 hundreds, but the second number only has 100. Since 200 is more than 100, we already know our answer without even looking at the tens or ones. So, we can complete our sentences like this. 173 is less than 249, or 249 is greater than 173. So remember that when comparing our numbers, we have to always check the hundreds place first. Question number 3. Write the statements in question 2 using the symbols less than and greater than. So now from the question 2, we know which number is bigger, so now we try to use these symbols instead of writing the words greater than and less than. Think of these symbols like a hungry alligator's mouth. So when the alligator is super greedy, its mouth always open wide and to eat the bigger number. So let's think about our first sentences. 173 and 249. Since 249 is a bigger number, the alligator's mouth opens up wide toward 249. And we read this from left to right as 173 less than 249. And for the second sentence, 249 is greater than 173. So the alligator mouth opened up wide to the bigger one. So we can read this from left to right. That will be 249 greater than 173. Question 4. Order these numbers from smallest to greatest. So when we look for the smallest number, we have to check how many digits each number has. So let's look at them. We have some 3-digit numbers and some 2-digit numbers. So naturally, 2-digit numbers are smaller than 3-digit numbers. So let's look at our 2-digit numbers first. So we can see 79 and 64. Between 64 and 79, which one has fewer tens? Of course, 64 only has 6 tens, while 79 has 7 tens. So that means 64 is our smallest number. So let's write 64 in our very first blank. And right next to it is our 2-digit number 79. And now we are left with 3-digit numbers 327, 236, and 142. So to order this, let's look at the hundreds place first. 3, 2, and 1. We have 300s, 200s, and 100s. So let's find which one is the smallest. Of course, 100 is the smallest. So let's write 142 first. And after that, which one is smallest? 2. So let's write 236. And the last one, the greatest one, is 327. So the answer will be 64, 79, 142, 236, and 327 from smallest to the greatest. Question 5. Estimate the value of each number marked on the number line. So let's look at our number line. It starts from 0 and goes all the way up to 1000. So in between go 100, 200, 300, and so on. So let's look at the first box. It is between 200 and 300, and it is around in the middle of them. So we can write it is range 240 to 260. So let's look at the second box. It's sitting just a tiny bit past the 500 mark. So the target range is around between range 505 to 520. So let's look at the last box. The arrow is pointing just a little bit before the 900 mark. So the target range here is 870 to 890. Practice. Question number 6. Use a symbol of less than and greater than to write two inequalities about these numbers. Let's look at our table first. In the first row, we can see that 4 hundreds, 5 tens, and 6 ones. So when we write together, that will be 456. And in the second row, we can see 4 hundreds, 6 tens, and 5 ones. So when we combine together, that will be 465. Remember, when we compare them, we have to check the biggest place value first, the hundreds column. But both numbers have a 4 in the hundreds place. They are exactly the same. So, what do we do now? Don't worry, if the hundreds are a time, we just take one step to the right and look at the tens column. Let's compare the tens. The first number has 5 tens, but the second number has 6 tens. Since 6 tens is bigger than 5 tens, we already know that 465 is the greater number. So we can write 456 less than 465 and 465 greater than 456. Question 7. Order these numbers from greatest to smallest. So let's find our biggest number first. Since 3-digit numbers are always bigger than 2-digit numbers, let's look at our 3-digit number first. So we have 3-digit numbers, 968, 689, and 896. So to find the greatest one, we check the hundreds place first. We have 9, 6, and 8. So we already know that 9 is the biggest one. So we can write 968 for our greatest number, after that 896, and after that 689. And then we move for 2-digit numbers. So we have two 2-digit numbers, 98 and 96. So they both have 9 tens. It's a time. Let's move to the ones place. So we have 8 ones and 6 ones. Since 8 is bigger than 6, 98 comes next, leaving 96 as our absolute smallest number at the very end. Okay, so now the answer will be 968, 896, 689, 98, 96 from the greatest to the smallest number. Question 8. Mark the numbers from question 7 on the number line. So we can see the number line start from 0 goes all the way up to 1000. So we have to use the numbers from question 7, 968, 698, 98, 69, and 896 to mark on the number line. This is the answer. Challenge. Question number 9. Compare these numbers. Write some inequalities using less than or greater than. So let's look at the table, and we have 3 rows. For the first row, we have 500, 7 tens, and 4 ones. So that will be 574. And for the second row, we have 700, 5 tens, and 3 ones. So when we write together, that will be 753. And for the last row, we have 500, 4 tens, and 7 ones. So when we write together, that will be 547. So we already know that 753 is the greatest number. After that, 574 is the second greatest number. And 547 will be the smallest number. So we can write the inequalities like this. 753 greater than 574, 547 less than 753, 574 less than 753, or 574 greater than 547, 547 less than 574, or 753 greater than 547. Question number 10. User looks at the place value grid in question 9 and writes 547 less than 753 greater than 574. 753 less than 547 less than 574. So write some more inequalities like those written by Yusuf. 574 greater than 547 less than 753. 547 less than 574 less than 753. 574 less than 753 greater than 547. 753 greater than 574 greater than 547. Question 11. What could the missing digit be in each of these inequalities? So the first one is 634 less than 6 blank 1. So you can write any number that will give bigger than 634. The second one is 765 greater than blank 83. So also you can put any number that will give smaller than 765. The third one is 257 greater than 25 blank. So you can write any number that will give smaller than 257. The fourth one is 372 less than blank 72. So you can put any number that will give greater than 372. Question 12. Order the heights of these towers from shortest to tallest. So you can see in the table name of tower, location, and height in meters. Let's look at the heights. So we have 462, 442, 828, 452, 632, and 555. So let's read our finished list of heights from shortest to the tallest together. 442, 452, 462, 555, 632, and 828. Question 13. Write the digits 1 to 9 anywhere in the grid. Read across and down the grid to find 6 three-digit numbers. Mark each number on the number line. So, when we read across, that will be 125, 255, and 824. And we can mark on the number line. And when we read down, that will be 128, 252 and 554, and we can mark on the number line.